Hello, members, everyone. I'm Lee Carroll.
And I'm Monica Muranyi.
And welcome to another Healing Wednesday Circle of 12. I also would like to say a special welcome to all those who are joining us for the first time. I haven't really said that much, but there are many who are literally coming online every single week and joining, those of you who have been seeing this for now some time. They're the lucky ones, too, because they get to go back and hear all of the replays that we have had and the hours worth of things. It's be a treasure trove if you've never heard any of those and have all of those speakers.
Absolutely.
So it's a time of rejoicing always when we're with you. It's a time of discovery when we're with you, and we have a lot of kinds of things that we like to talk about. But first, I'm going to tell you what I always say, and also what I've been saying for the last couple of weeks too, because it's just a little different. Streaming is different than a replay, and I think that you know this. And we stream for the real reason I think that I could say that we're doing this at 6 o'clock and we're streaming because it contains this beautiful interface, the chat area. Yeah. And this is the time when you can talk to each other. Also, when we have the speakers and they're able, and they will come online and after their presentation and talk to you. Yes. But it carries with it a little more, I would say, difficulty. So sometimes the streaming isn't always perfect, and I've said this before, I'll say it again. If you're frustrated, just turn it off and see the replay, which is about an hour and a half later, or sometimes even sooner, and that link for the replay is going to be in your membership portal. Also, I want to tell you that if the stream stops, the last couple of weeks I've been saying this because we've had this happen. Don't give up. The program is not over. Just sometimes it has to reboot. Very common. I think you're aware of what happens when a computer stops. It has to be rebooted. So you just wait about 5-6 minutes or something and refresh, come back on. You may have to log in again, and we'll be there. So this is what I like to tell people. There have been a couple of stoppages, and we had one power failure as well. But just try again. Wait and try again rather than just leaving us, because there are many who have experienced it. Hey, they're back. So we do our very, very best to keep it going. We have what I'll call the call for healers. We always say this to the members. If you're a healer or a certified practitioner or a medical doctor or nurse with a perspective on alternate healing methods, we're looking for you. You can apply to be a speaker on Healing Wednesdays, and we'll see if you're a good fit to be a guest on the program. It's easy. You just fill out a form, and if it sounds like it'll work, we'll contact you. It'd be nice if you have a following or a practice, but forward the application also to anybody you feel who perhaps might be on the program. Well, here we are again.
Yes, indeed. And I'm looking forward to delving into some questions and answers. So in your member portal, you have a place there where you can submit a question to us. Should be easy to find. Many of you already have. And Lee, you want to talk about the parameters of asking questions.
We'd like you to ask questions that others may be interested in. Don't ask questions that are personal for yourself. This is a very open forum. There's many, many watching. So whatever question you would have, many might also have. That's going to be proven just in the series of questions that you'll see we are dealing with, because many are asking the same kind of question. Mm-hmm. In this particular question, oh, by the way, when you ask that question, make it short if you can, please, and don't tell us your life story, because it won't be used if it's too long. I tend to answer, if I can, more thoroughly than just giving you a yes or a no, or try this or try that. There, indeed, will be some where I'll say something short, but in general, I try to be a little more thorough. So perhaps my answers will be a little longer than the questions. They often are. When we did this live, and we've done it many times in the past years when we were traveling, we had a whole series of time, about 45 minutes, I think, where we did just this. And I think they realized my answers were often lectures.
Well, let's get into it.
Okay, let's do it.
Let's do that, because we actually had some similar questions that have come in from Christina from New Brunswick in Canada, and from Mel, who is also from Canada, but Vancouver. Basically, they both experienced a very powerful, peaceful, loving circle of 12 meditation. And yet they're no longer able to feel that same profound experience that they had. And they want to have Lee explain what is going on. And a similar feeling happened with Christina from Ottawa in Canada. Now, she wrote to say that she had an incredible love wash experience, similar to what Lee described when Cryon first came in. And for Christina, this happened 20 years ago, just that one time. And she wants to know if she can have that experience again, because she is so willing, so ready and waiting for it. So, Lee, what do you have to comment on those situations?
Okay, this is one of these more lengthy ones.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to answer this from a human standpoint first, then I'll pull it into the spiritual experience. This love wash, the one that I received the first time Cryon came to me, I never had it again either. There is something you should know, and the way this works. And I'm going to equate it and completely and totally to something that most of you, hopefully, have experienced and know about. How many of us, as humans, have had that beautiful experience of falling in love? And if you have, and you've been fortunate enough to have a real loving experience with some other human being, you realize that when it begins, it's different. In fact, there are psychologists who say it's a little bit like going insane for a little while. You stop eating and everything is beautiful and wonderful, and you're bopping around the house and whistling. You've never had it so good. You're in love. I don't have to tell you about that. If you are also fortunate enough to be with that person and find them as a partner and continue that love affair, you realize that love then matures. It gets far larger than it was before, but it doesn't have the same parameter of you going insane and not being able to eat and bopping around. This is the answer. You have a maturity that starts to happen after the love wash. So, first of all, don't expect to go backwards into that immature place. I say immature, that honeymoon place, if you want to, where it was all new and you feel a certain thing. Instead, I want you to expect it to mature, get better, and it changes. It gets into a far, I would say, more elegant way. If I could equate it with my experience with Cryon, that's exactly what has happened. Every time I sit down, I know Cryon is there. I have a love wash, but it doesn't affect me anything like it did the first time. The first time, brand new. I never felt anything like it. It was just astonishing because it was new and it was so different. Then as it happened over and over and it became more and more mature, that then was the time for me to start developing it into something that was far bigger and far stronger. So if I could answer these questions in a way that makes sense, I would say don't anticipate that particular love wash again. It's almost like Spirit has tapped you on the shoulder in some way and saying, I'm here. Are you ready? Are you ready? And you're saying, yes, and there's the euphoria and there's a love wash. Now let's get down to business. So if you're always expecting to go backwards into that lesser experience that you liked a lot, but it really is, it's not a mature experience, you're not going to find it. Don't be disappointed because you're not. It's much different than you think. Don't you want to move forward with it instead of simply staying in that place that is brand new? And the answer is, as good as it felt, it can feel just the same way, only in a mature fashion. Does that make sense to you?
I think that was a beautiful perspective on your own experience with how Cryon has evolved for you.
Yep.
So hopefully that helped those with those questions, and if that was you who have a similar experience. And before we run out of time, I want to also address two questions that were focusing on fear and doubt. So Jean from Massachusetts was asking, can you provide some advice for those of us struggling to cross the bridge and move through the mist? Cryon mentioned fear playing a part, so I wanted to ask, is there something specific we can do on our part to help? And then the next question was from Ida from Connecticut. Now, she said Cryon talks about fear preventing healing, and she's also struggling with doubt. Even though she can go through into the multidimensional state, and she says that it feels like she's everywhere and it's amazing. She can do that every day, but then the 4D doubt comes back because it's, even though you can feel it, she says, Lee, that is this feeling real or not in the 4D state? So if you want to talk about those related things, the fear and the doubt, that would be great.
Right. They truly are, I would say, two separate kinds of energies, but they both stop it. Mm-hmm. And they stop it completely. I think fear would stop it more firmly and faster. I don't think really there are that many people who are actually afraid of it. Mm-hmm. I think it is an apprehension from going into an energy or a reality that you haven't been in before. Or if you have, you're uncertain about it. Because Cryon says it is the unknown. Okay, here's the answer. First of all, I don't want you to look at that which is fear or the things that in your body as being apart from you. They're all within. And so if they are part of you, I'll tell you what, you can address the issue. You don't have to say, I'm afraid, what do I do about it? You address it. Here's what Cryon has said over and over. Number one, Spirit is there to help. You stop and you go, dear Spirit, dear body, dear countenance, whatever, I'm afraid. Please help me through this right now. I'm afraid. Do you understand? You have just opened the issue to your consciousness and also to the help which is around you. So if your intent is to get through this, state it. I mean, I've even said to some people, the people who can't visualize it, I had the other instructions for helping to visualize it, but it's always the same, is you address it in 3D, not even 4D. Dear Spirit, I don't know what's going on. I think I'm not only just afraid, I'm not really sure. Address that. Give permission. Say, I don't know what's going to happen. I'm afraid, but if it's okay, let me proceed. You're going to find that your innate is on board with you. And so is the help that we've been talking about. That truly is the answer. I'd like to expand that later on to other things, but that's a short answer.
Thank you, Lee. That's wonderful. And I hope that you're feeling more positive about moving through fears and doubts, because we always get them every day. That's part of duality. You always have doubt creeping in. And I think it's healthy to have that and to work through it in that way where you have a partner. I love that part of the answer, Lee. We're not doing it alone.
We're not doing it alone. And
we have a
and
partner.
Again, I know I keep saying the same thing, but truly, if you'd simply stop and state the obvious, dear body, dear Spirit, I'm afraid, or dear, I don't understand, or help me through this, instead of just fighting it, or saying, I can't do it, or I'm afraid of it, Right.
So let's do a meditation and hear a channel from Cryon. Dear Creator, inside, come closer. Dear Creator, outside, come closer. Dear angels, guides, helpers, elementals of Gaia, come closer. Let